Hey y'all, I'm 1 minute early. Wait for some of you guys to get in here before I lay this all out. Y'all have been victims of one of the biggest psyops since 9/11. Okay. Now the Mabster has been on this earth 62 years, almost 63, coming up November. And I'm a pretty quick study when it comes to bullshit, okay? And bullshit is what I'm seeing from the Trump administration. If it's Trump himself, I don't know, but the FBI sure getting some shit wrong. Hey, Unicorn, Indiana, good afternoon to you. Good to see you. You're my one viewer. Or I got five? Oh, okay, I got five. All right, five's enough. What the hell? Okay, y'all know that Charlie Kirk was assassinated uh, recently, okay? Hey, Laura Stevenson's live. Good to see you, sweetie. Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Hey, Julie, I'm just to uncover the biggest psyop since 9/11. These idiot ignoramuses in the FBI are very goddamn stupid. Okay? Charlie Kirk did not get shot by that Ryan, what the fuck his name is, that had the transgender lover. That is Patsy. All right? It hasn't been 24 hours since I was going to say I was going to do this. This is the PsyOps fucking manual, people. This is what they study to do what they're doing right now. Charlie Kirk got shot in the head from the upper right, and it exited his neck from the front. Okay? I got video, got evidence, and we're going to look at it right freaking now. All right. This guy is Range Day Bro. Go subscribe to him. He just put this video out 2 hours ago. I just watched it about a half an hour ago, and I thought, son of a bitch, they're doing it again. They're doing it again! They're psyoping our asses. Son of a bitch. All right, let's listen.
FBI's official story is false, whether knowingly or unknowingly. We're going to have an entire monologue and talk about a lot of these things after I show you this. But if you take nothing else away from this video, you need to see this.
Okay, so the FBI, I got to stop and talk, right? Otherwise, I get screwed. The FBI is knowingly putting out false information because if they were anything like anybody with fucking common sense and had a medical examiner, they would know what I'm telling you.
And in that video, you can see the same, what appears to be the bullet coming down, and it does line up with the actual gunshot itself.
They're not coming gang violence. Great.
So this video was created by a friend of mine who is a Marine.
Okay, that's behind Charlie Kirk up to the right. It's up here. There's a bush right here, and there's a sniper behind that bush with a rifle and optics.
And you'll see him here at the end. This is the angle he is showing the shot coming from, showing where Charlie.
Okay, that's what happened. Not, it wasn't through the front because there's no exit wound out here. It came through here and exited here, but it didn't travel through enough meat to have a typical exit wound like you'd shoot in a deer or something. There was not enough time for the bullet to get to terminal velocity to act like a 30-06 or probably an AK-47, a smaller gauge round. This was not the deer rifle, folks. Like they're trying to tell you, some Mossberg from Germany It's a psyop, and I'll show you. I'll tell you.
Charlie was sitting and the angle of the shot, which will correspond with this video here, which unfortunately we will
Okay, pay fucking very close attention.
blur out Charlie's face, but we will show what is necessary to.
You're going to see a bullet come down from up here, and you're going to see it exit down here. Probably severed his spinal cord.
Prove that this was an entry and exit wound. So you'll see him circle the highlighted area right there. And
see the bullet?
an exit wound. So you'll see him circle the highlighted area right there.
Bam! We caught it in air. That fucking right there is the bullet that killed Charlie Kirk. Not what they're feeding your ass. Okay? I've been alive too long. I've dealt with too many fucking Hells Angels, too many fucking drug dealers, too many fucking liars, too many fucking thieves to believe bullshit, okay? This is the biggest fucking psyop since 9/11. And I think they were trying to get a civil war started. But they underestimated what a Christian really is, in my opinion. Okay?
And you'll see.
What the fuck do you guys think? What do you guys think? Damn. Oh, Stephen Gardner just put it on 9 minutes ago. Cool. Yeah, well, he beat me. He's got more connections than I got. All right.
See the exit wound corresponding after, a split second after, as it would from an entry and exit wound. So in this footage, you can clearly
exit wound, entry wound.
See that Charlie is shot from his back right, and there is blood splatter coming out of the entry wound immediately after a shot. The first arc is kind of down as if it's just gushing out from the entry wound. And then the second
you see the blood spray up here a little bit. I'm pointing with my finger. Up here, you'll see a little blood splatter.
Shot corresponds with when his head kind of snaps forward.
There's the bullet.
Forward. That fluid then flips up.
There, I don't know if that's the fluid or the bullet, but
in relation to that motion.
It's probably the fluid.
And so you can see there's that second splatter flipping up into the air. This is something that I hadn't seen.
Oh, okay, I saw the splatter. I saw the splatter. I'm sorry, you guys, this is morbid, but it's important that we share true
This is
information.
something that I hadn't seen to this date. I saw this for the first time late in the evening yesterday, and I decided that this needed to be put out immediately because not.
Is that the splatter or the bullet? I'm not sure, but it's one or the other.
No one that I know of is talking about this. So big shout out to my friend who actually found this and created this video. You'll see him here in just a moment, but let's just one more time look at this shot. You see bullet comes in that circled area. You have the
Damn, you guys. Who do you think I think's responsible? If I had to take a guess, I would think it start with an M, then it would be my middle initial, then it would be an O-S-S, and an A, duh. That's who I think is probably responsible, if not our organization that probably wrote this book right here. I didn't get a chance to read the damn book, and this shit's happening. Biggest bullshit I've seen since 9/11.
blood splatter go down, then up, and then immediately after, you see the exit right here with the skin being pierced, and then the exit wound emerges. And again, that is not a far distance for a bullet to travel, whatever the caliber is, whether it be 5.56, 308.
You want me to drop the link to the video or the podcast guy? Hold on. You guys want to watch? Don't go away from here to watch it. Watch it after this. But here's the link to the video. There it is. Carmela Cat. You got it. Unicorn, Indiana. Yeah, I think I spelled it out for you. BB was claiming that I didn't see him do this. This is secondhand information that Charlie died for Israel. That's bullshit. Okay? That's total bullshit. BB needs to be watched with a microscope. Okay? Now, let me just say something about October 8th. If you think that a border with Gaza or Palestine, wherever the hell Hamas, if you think that border wasn't so fucking tight that they couldn't tell when a gnat fucking farted on that border, you think they fucking didn't see a bunch of dipshits cutting the fucking fence and coming in and blowing the shit out of everything and taking hostages? No. Don't be an idiot. That's another psyop. We're getting into all the psyops. This panel may not last long, folks. This may be over today. I don't know. But I'm getting into psyops. I'm going to uncover every goddamn one I can fucking find. You don't like it? Go somewhere else. You're welcome, sweetie.
30-06. It's not even a debate at this point. It doesn't matter what caliber killed him. What matters is that the official narrative is not true. Again, whether the FBI knows or not that they're lying, but this.
How could they not know they're lying if they have a competent medical examiner? They think the bullet went in from the front and came out and took a hard left and then went up to the top of his head on his right, our left, looking at him from whatever fucking Tyler or whatever his name is. What's the guy's name that they're patsying? Ryan or something. Who's the guy, Carmela? Unicorn. Who's the guy that is the patsy here with the Mossberg? Ryan something? I can look it up. Tyler Robinson. Tyler Robinson and Nat fart. You're goddamn right. They could see a fart coming out of a gnat's ass with the technology they got on that border between Israel and every other fucking place. And if you think they didn't see a whole bunch of jackasses in Toyotas, hey, Pommy Mom, what's up? Good to see you. Yeah, if you think that they didn't see that and that wasn't a psyop, then you got another thing coming. They needed a reason to do what they're doing right now, and that was it. That was a setup. The whole fucking thing. You guys, nothing you fucking see, nothing you hear, and nothing you see is fucking real until you take in all the information, use your brain to sort through said information, being smart about it, not being a dumbass, and you will find the truth almost every time. Now, in a perfect psyop, it may be never be known what happened. Like the JFK assassination, I think I know who did it. I think it was the vice president and the mafia and the CIA. Hey, what's up? We're talking about Charlie Kirk getting shot. A different person, not Tyler Robinson, not Tyler Robinson. He's a patsy. He got shot in the head from behind, not from the front. And I can prove it. Look at the video, dude, right here. Or ma'am.
This is 100% conclusive evidence that Charlie Kirk was shot in the back of the head, and it exited through the front of his throat. All of the evidence points to Charlie being shot from his back right. Now, including this little blood splatter that we can see here against the white backdrop, the extreme hemorrhaging from the front of his neck, which again corresponds with an exit wound, the extreme loss of blood. No matter what the caliber is, that distance, that amount of meat is not enough for most bullets to expand. I mean, 99.9% of bullets will not expand in that short distance.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not like a typical deer shot where it goes through 2 feet of meat, or a head shot, typically where it goes through the entire brain. The back side, where it exits, there has to be lots of meat for it to have an explosive exit wound. There wasn't hardly anything here on the our right, Charlie's left, for it to make the type of exit wound that's normally occurs. And that was by design, I'm sure.
Most of them require 12 to 14 to 16 inches, even sometimes, of tissue to expand properly. Also, Charlie tensing up correlates and proves that he was hit in his spine. That's a spinal injury. Any of the game that I've shot in the neck or in the high vitals where you impact the spine, the game usually drops right in its tracks because you sever the spinal cord. This is again exactly.
Wait, I got me up here and not him. Sorry. Why am I not getting the fucking layout I want? There. What the hell? Can't do it this way. I can't get my tab.
Exactly what we see with Charlie. He tenses up. His head movement also correlates with being shot in the back of the head. His head snaps forward, and then he tenses up, and you see him fade away, drop the mic, and was absolutely traumatizing video footage. And I'm sorry to have to show you guys this again, but this needs to be seen and talked about because this is going to be suppressed in the algorithm. So make sure you share this with any of your friends, your family members. Save this video.
Yes, the real killer is getting away with it, Marsha E. If they, hey, just what's up, Sean? From Washington. We're talking about the real shooter for Charlie Kirk being not Tyler Robinson. He's the patsy. No. Sean, watch this, man. Use your brain, brother.
Video, whatever you need to do. So it's right in the evening yesterday, and I decided that this needed to be put out immediately because no one that
Can't see that bullet.
this is something that I hadn't seen to this date. I saw this for the first time late in the evening yesterday, and I decided that.
Sean, you see that fucking bullet right there in the air? Blood or bullet, one of the two. See it, Sean? Look at it, Sean. Look at it. It's right there above his right ear, not his left front of the throat. I thought the same thing until I saw this. And I already know that I was about ready to go into my freaking psyop manual right here, Sean. Look, it's a big ass manual about psyops. I just got it yesterday. And lo and behold, today we run into the biggest psyop since 9/11.
that this needed to be put out immediately because no one that I know of is talking about this. So big shout out to my friend who actually found this and created this video.
Share this video, guys, if you want, because I don't know, mainstream will probably get a hold of it, but if it gets banned or whatever, if they try to cover it up, spread it.
You'll see him here in just a moment, but let's just one more time look at this shot. You see bullet comes in that circled area. You have the blood splatter go down, then up, and then immediately after, you see the exit right here with the skin being pierced, and then the exit wound emerges. And again, that is not a far distance for a bullet to travel, whatever the caliber is, whether it be 5.56, 308, 30-06. It's not even a debate at this point. It doesn't matter what caliber killed him. What matters is that the official narrative is not true. Again, whether the FBI knows or not that they're.
Yeah, Sean, do your research, brother. You'll find out that this is going to be true. I've seen enough shit in all my days. JFK, Martin Luther King, Lee Harvey Oswald got shot by fucking strip club owner, whatever his name was. Ruby. Yeah, we've seen it all before. He was a patsy. This is just horrible. What were they trying to do? Are they trying to get the links in here, Sean, up in the chat to this video if you want to look at it. It's right about in the middle. Right there, 1214. Appalachian Granny, Jack Ruby. Yes. Jack Ruby. Shot him in the head. The whole thing was a cover-up and a setup because JFK was getting too close to the military industrial complex who runs everything. You know, I know that Trump isn't telling the truth about some shit is because, remember the UFO bullshit? The UFO bullshit looked to me over New Jersey. Yes. Well, if you look at my thumbnail, let's look at the picture of the shooter. Oh, well, he's going to show the shooter pretty soon here. Let's find the shooter.
Any of the game that I've shot in the neck or in the high vitals where you impact the spine, the game usually drops right in its tracks because you sever the spinal cord. This is, again, exactly what we see with Charlie. He tenses up. His head movement also correlates with being shot in the back of the head. His head snaps forward, and then he tenses up, and you see him fade away, drop the mic, and was absolutely traumatizing video footage. I'm sorry to have to show you guys this again, but this needs to be seen and talked about because this is going to be suppressed in the algorithm. So make sure you share this with any of your friends, your family members. Save this video, whatever you need to do. So this video is actually
whatever he said. Do whatever he said. Yeah, the video I saw, it looked like it was mabinvestigates@gmail.com, Sean. Send it to me. All right, brother. All right, Sean. You're one of my favorite subs, brother. You're driving around listening. Look at the video, I'm a little behind. So you saw the video that was going around like ours after he was shot. It was taken down, but I recorded it. Send it to me at mabinvestigates@gmail.com. Party dang simple to remember. Yeah, Pommy Mom, let's do that. I got like 1,300 subscribers, something like that. 1,350. Let's get it up there because I'm going to be doing a lot of shit. I'm going to be teaching you guys how the world really works, okay? Team Mab, that's right, Mab Nation. Mab Nation. Let me just tell you a little bit about my history. I was into the drug scene as a kid. I wasn't a druggie, but I had, at 12 years old, I found that I could not support myself. You know, my parents were both alcoholics, and we were pretty much let on our own since I was like 10 or 12. So I had to figure out how to make money. And at first, you know, I hunted night crawlers and shit like that, pop bottles, whatever. And then I started corn detasseling in the summer at 12 years old, making $1.35 an hour. And cigarettes were, I don't know how much. Gas was 35 cents a gallon. Damn, I sound old. But I've seen it all, you guys. I've seen it pretty much all. I've even been in the pew fight. All right. And that was kind of scary. 3 against 1. Who won? The master, of course. The other guy, one of the other guys that called the police on me, went to jail. Yep, that's what happened. Anyway, I've seen it all. I'll get into the other history later. That is a different video,
Actually provided to the channel by a friend of mine who is a Marine, and I forgot to show you the end of the video here. So this is my friend who actually made the video. I want to just give him
All right, guys, this is the source of this video. He is Instagram Rith4Wrath, YouTube 8.03XX. I could not find this YouTube channel. If any of you guys can find this YouTube channel, put the link in the chat, because I don't know if it's been wiped or not, but 8.03XX. I could not find the fucking channel before I came live, and I looked. Team Mab. 32 cents a pack. You must be older than 62 then. Or you lived on the, well, I lived in Indiana, so 32 cents a pack. They were probably 32 cents a pack when I was a kid too. But when I started smoking, they were 35 cents a pack. We got 20 people. Yesterday we had 6 when I was beating myself up trying to fix that damn crane. Anyway, let's continue. I got more stuff to look at.
a shout out. I will link his socials down in the description below. Again, he is the one who brought this to my attention. This is his video. He created this. He did the drawings on it, and he sent it to me to allow me to use it to show you guys what we're talking about. So he says, I have been shot many times, 3 times to be exact, and I know exit and entry wounds. I have extensive firearms training inside the Marines and the civilian world as well. It appears that Charlie was shot in the back right side of his head, and the bullet exited through his neck. The moment I saw the video and he tensed up, I thought, that looks like a headshot given the fact that he seized up. It is very common. It is a very common occurrence with a headshot. So this dude of all people would know what an entry and exit wound looks like on his own body, literally up close and in 4K HD, as they say. So
this dude's been shot 3 times. He knows what a freaking entry and exit wound is because he's had 3 of them. Do a screenshot or something. Save this dude's info. I couldn't find him. I haven't tried Instagram because I don't have Instagram. But if anybody can find the YouTube channel, I'm good at guessing age. What are you, 64? People are leaving. What the fuck? All right, let's continue.
So if anyone is qualified to talk about it, it is this dude. He is a super cool guy. So please go ahead and check him out. And I really appreciate him sending me this over, because until he sent this to me, I just hadn't seen anything like it. Now, I wanted to be sure, and I wanted to make sure that wasn't like doctored footage. So I went to one of the original videos that I saw posted the day of Charlie's assassination. And right here I have it paused where you can see that splash that I'm talking about from the entry wound, and you can see it slowed down. This guy in this video is actually talking about the F in this on his shirt and the ring, some other stuff that really has nothing to do with it. People are arguing about body armor. You could see Charlie's, his nipples through his shirt, his chest, his brain.
No body armor, not behind bulletproof glass. Wouldn't have helped him. Would not have helped him. This is a professional job done by professionals, but even professionals make mistakes. And with this level of scrutiny, I don't know why they thought they were going to get away with it, unless they just cover the shit up. We'll see what happens. But if I was Trump, I'd be coming out right now and finding out what the hell just happened. Who's behind it? Who funded it? How did the fucking everybody know beforehand? Oh, fucking bullshit. Pearl J. 2 hours ago on Breaking Points, it reported that the surgeon who saw him after is saying that the bullet did not exit his body. It was still in his neck. There's no fucking way in hell that's true. No way. I can, oh my God. Lying. Totally lying. There is no fucking way a bullet's going to stay in your head that goes through that thin of bone and then through all the soft tissue under your jaw, out your neck. No way. Search Ranger Day Bro. All right. I'll write that down. Where's my pens and my pencils? Mrs. Mab stole everything. Come on, man. I think I saw Ranger Day Bro when I searched that, but why doesn't it come up as what he said it was? Ranger Day Bro. Let me just look at that real quick. Let me look at that real quick. Actually, I don't want to look at that real quick. Hold on. Sorry, I'm not that smooth, you guys, but World Ranger Day. Ranger Day Bro. Wow, it's not going to find. I got to search YouTube. I'll find it. I'll look right here. Ranger Day Bro. Regan Brothers. Brothers and sisters. Blue Brothers. Ranger. Oh, Ranger. Duh. God darn it. Come on, Mab. Get your shit together. Ranger Day Bro. I still can't find it. I'll find it. I will find it. It's just a matter of time. Look at my history. I'm going to get back to where it was with this. Bam. I'm back. Can I get your number? You're hot. Pearl. Pearl Joy. Breaking Points. That is a total BS. Pearl Joy, you're being psyoped. Yeah, I did. I couldn't find it. Can you send me a link, Unicorn Indiana? Send me a link if you can find this video. They were calling him a man of steel. Oh, Charlie? Well, bullshit's getting thicker and thicker, isn't it? I don't think they're going to get away with this one. I do not think they're going to get away with this one. It's too much. It's too easy to see what's going on. Somebody wanted the end of free speech and or a civil war, in my opinion. And they underestimated us Christians and thought that we were just going to start raging and going psycho. That's not who we are. That's not how we're made.
Breasts through his shirt, but you can see that he has no body armor on right here. Okay, this would all be one slick piece of plate. It's already been.
So if it was Kamala Harris, yeah, there'd be fucking burning in the streets and fucking cities would be burning. Oh my God.
Established there's no body armor. So this is actual proof right here. He slowed this video down perfect. You see the blood right here,
Yep.
dripping out of his head from the entry wound. And the bullet is coming from
Well,
here
evidence, in my opinion.
down through here. Okay. Hit play. And there it goes. So again,
I kind of noticed that when I saw the first video that was shot from the front, his movement did not look right to me. The tensing up like that did not look right. And that was my first gut feeling that this was bullshit. But I was busy. I'm working outside. I'm doing all this other shit. And I'm just now catching up. So here it is. Let's keep going.
again, I wanted to confirm the footage I had seen originally was not, in fact, doctored in any way. So you can see it here as well, a little piece down there, and it actually goes up a little bit off frame here from my screen recording. So you can see clearly entry, exit, then, you know, of course, the part we can't show here on YouTube. So irrefutable evidence that he was shot in the back of the head. Clear as day to me. Now that may be a hard pill for a lot of you to swallow, and without doubt, in the top left of this photo.
All right, shooter's location. Behind this bush right here, Charlie was probably speaking under this. If you look at my cursor, can I make my cursor big? Let's see, settings. Displays, no. Appearance. I could do that later, I guess. It'd be easier to show you shit. Anyway. Yeah. This bush, or if you look at the screenshot that I did for the clip on the video, see the shooter's behind this bush in the rear. So I think Tyler Robinson took a shot at something, but it wasn't Charlie Kirk. And this guy probably was a suppressed sniper rifle from behind that tree. And so the acoustics would tell you that it was coming from Robinson, but it wasn't. It was coming from behind. Typical CIA type shit.
Photo, and he zooms in on it, and he's stating that it does look suspicious. It does look suspicious. It looks like there is a person right here, and it looks like there is a rifle right here that the person is holding. A hand here, support hand, sort of very blurry image, but you can clearly make out that this is not just a bush. This is a human skin tone right here.
Yep.
And this correlates with human head and hair and a rifle in the exact kind of crucifix shape of an AR-15 with an optic on it mounted up. So good on.
I don't think AR-15, but that's not a sniper rifle, AR-15. I mean, in my opinion, it's not. I wouldn't use it, but I have a 308 sniper rifle with optics and tripod. I'm just looking for a range where I can dial it in better. But I'm telling you guys, this is the guy right here. Hopefully we'll find more video evidence of this guy. Sean, I'm just the other way. I tell my wife shit, and she looks at me like I'm out of my freaking mind. She's like, huh? Huh? So I got the typical Joe Chew public sitting next to me all day. So if I want her to believe something, I got to convince her it's really true. My wife definitely loving this topic. She reads a lot. Tells me all kinds of things. Sometimes I got to look at her and say, that's bullshit. I know she's liking your live right now. I hope she's watching it. Range day, bro. All right, I'm going to do that again. Range day, bro. Got it. No. There it is. It's the same guy, though. Why is he on range day? Range day, bro, is the guy. Oh, I thought you were telling me about. I know this guy's channel. I want the other guy's channel. I want this guy's channel right here. 8.03XX YouTube channel. Look at that one. That's the one I want. The original video came from this guy right here, this young dude.
That he seized up. It is very common. It is a very common occurrence with a headshot. So this is a rifle right here that the person is holding. A hand here, support hand, sort of very blurry image, but you can, and looking for, like he said, hours of going through photo, crucifix shape of an AR-15 with an optic on it mounted up. So good on this dude for finding this photo and looking for, like he said, hours of going through photos and videos until he saw this. This would 100% line up with the actual shot that we've now proven was not taken from the front, was taken from the back side of Charlie. This would line up exactly with that bullet trajectory and the entry and exit wound that we exhibited, that we saw here on camera. So guys, this is a very heavy topic. I do not want to believe that this is possible, that the FBI either knowingly or unknowingly missed this.
That's the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard. I can't believe this is true. The FBI. I don't want to believe it. It can't be them. The FBI is lying. It can't be true. Are you fucking kidding me? Give me a break. I gotta hear that again.
And I'll leave that up for belief that this is possible, that the FBI either knowingly or unknowingly missed this. And I'll leave that up for you guys to speculate on. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. All I know is that 100% Charlie was not shot from the front. It is very clear that he was shot from the side, most likely by this bush up here, this man in the bush, whatever you want to call him. It has been very clear to me that there has been a lot of NPCs, a lot of people going.
Does this bush look suspicious to anyone? It lines up directly to where Charlie Kirk's tent was and where he was shot. I was very hesitant to post this until I got other opinions on the matter. I spent hours going through photos and videos until I saw this. Top left of the first picture. LEWANT number 2. Lewant 222 is the user that came up with the picture of the shooter, potential shooter. Okay. There's your source right there.
There has been a lot of NPCs, a lot of people going after me and others who are trying to seek out the truth. And it's so important to not let them silence your voice. For Charlie, for this country, really, for the Constitution, for everything that we stand for freedom, it is imperative that we continue to ask questions and seek the truth when we're so clearly being lied to. So I really appreciate all the support that you guys have shown me over the last week and trying to uncover the truth. And all I would ask is for you guys to share this video. Let me know about your thoughts down in the comments below. Please head to BrainJBro.com if you want to support the channel, check out our merch, all that good stuff. I love every single one of you guys. Christ is king. Drink a lot of water. Stay safe. Stay dangerous. Brain J Bro out. Ladies and gentlemen, I now.
Amen, brother. Like that guy. Love that guy. All right, what else? Some other bullshit going on. Heather, whatever. What's up? Yeah, I've been skeptical since day one, Pearl Joy. Yes, chicken snake. You're making me think right now. That's what I'm here for. I saw the same footage and did not have it, but when he was shot, the front part of his shirt poofed out. Yes, because as soon as you get your spinal cord gets severed, you're like this. It's a very abrupt thing. Your whole, oh my God, my tenant is moving to Oklahoma and getting married. She's like 65. Thought she was going to be dead soon. What the hell? It's my tenant. Now I can finally get the right amount of rent. Mrs. Mab, this lady was homeless, and she got booted out of her place. She had nowhere to go. We had just inherited Mrs. Mab's mother's place, and I remodeled the studio and let her move into it for like pennies on the dollar. We've raised her rent a little bit, but it's about half of what it should be. So that'll be nice. We got to get a new tenant. That's going to be difficult. Don't like doing that. All right. Okay, so we know about this guy. Let me find something else. Some other BS going on. I don't know if you guys like Buddy Brown, but I do. So I'm going to share another video about some stuff. It's on X. I don't have it. Hey, Heather, what's up, sweetie? Question everything is damn right. Always question everything. Always question everything 10 times. And once you come to a conclusion, question it again when new information comes in. Because things can change. Just like in this case, I thought he was shot from the front until 11:30 this morning, and that was less than 2 hours ago. I wasn't coming on, Heather, until I saw this, and I'm like, damn, this is big as 9/11. I got to jump on this shit. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Kick it. You saw the video too? Good for you, because you smart woman. Us old people, man, we know what the fuck is going on. These kids don't know shit because they've been raised by fucking electrons. They've been raised by photons entering their eyes from their screen. You got the attention span of a fart coming out of a gnat's ass again. Oh, Lord. So let's, oh, not this guy. let's remove from stage, and we'll add. We will add somebody else. There should be like a shortcut. I'm sure there probably is.
Monday morning, y'all. I hope you're doing great. Today we're going to talk about September 23rd and why it's one of the most Googled dates of the entire calendar year. I want to separate fact from fiction.
How many of you guys like Buddy Brown? 1.24 million subscribers. Riding around with UTV. Just telling you how it is. Spitting a little tobacco. Come on, man. That's cool. I'm already proud of your son. How old's your son? Buddy's awesome. I know. Let's go. Let's go.
For y'all, I definitely want to use scripture and just kind of drown out all the noise of the social media stuff that's going out there to get.
I'd like to drown out all the noise of social media stuff going on out there. I'm just gonna throw y'all some facts around here. Come on, man. Let's do it.
It clicks because it's deceiving a lot of people.
It's deceiving a lot of people.
I want everybody to just calm the heck down.
I want everybody to just calm the heck down.
This video is sponsored by Chuck.
This video is sponsored by Chuck.
I've been taking this stuff.
Chalk. We don't give a shit about chalk, buddy.
Days it can boost free testosterone up to 87. Good boys. I'll put the link below. All right, so
If I had 80% more testosterone, I'd be in jail.
let's get into this. September 23rd. Okay, that is Rosh Hashanah.
I think I got enough testosterone as it is. Enough for 10 people.
If you don't know what Rosh Hashanah is, it is the Jewish New Year. It's a big deal. It's like our January 1st. Everybody's
Rosh Hashanah.
celebrating. Everybody's going crazy over there. It's also known as the Feast of Trumpets. September 24th is going to be the last day of the Feast of Trumpets, where they're going to blow 100 trumpet blast on a shofar. They're going to broadcast it live on international TV everywhere. Everybody's going to see it at the same time.
All right. It's just the Israelis bringing in the new year, and that's what it means being and what that means being autistic. He knows his shit. Like he goes in and researches. I love that. Who's on YouTube? Yes, outside the box, Heather. Carmela Cat, who are you sub to? I want to sub to them. I already subbed to like 150 people, so I get no notifications about anybody, anytime, anywhere. It says, watch Dolly Vision plus 45 more. I got to go through and unsub a hell of a lot of channels because I've subbed too many. Who is sub to who here? Is it Sean's kid that's on YouTube? Is your kid on YouTube, Sean? Come on, man. Tell me what's going on. There you go, Pearl. I should probably send one of my subs a text, huh? Or one of my mods. See if I can find one. Can't find it. Oh well. Got no subs. I mean, I got no mods. Who wants to be a mod? Heather, whatever. You're a mod. How do I do that? I forgot how to do that. The hell? Let's see. How do I make you a mod, honey? There. Delete comment. Put user in timeout. Ban and delete their comments. Don't want to do that. Heather. I'm going to make her a mod. How do I do that? I'll find out later, I guess. Or somebody can drop it in the chat. He's on YouTube, but he doesn't engage with anybody. That's cool, but if he puts videos out, send me the link. mapinvestigates@gmail.com. Send me an email, Sean. I'd love to hear from you. All right, let's keep going.
They're trying to usher in their Messiah, which they don't realize they killed 2,000 years ago. So what's actually going on and what's actually going to be what they're ushering in is the real question. Here's another thing. There is a darn good chance that they already sacrificed the red heifer. Okay, even though they're going to tell you they didn't, they don't have anything like that. You know, come on. They've had perfect ones over there for a couple years now.
Yep. The red heifer, all the shit the Jews are, I mean, I don't have anything against Jewish people, but they did kill Jesus. And they were persecuted in the 40s. And I think they're so goddamn paranoid now, or god darn paranoid. Sorry, Jesus. I never say that. The Jewish government in particular is so paranoid. Uh-oh. Mrs. Mann, hold on a second. Tonnage, I'm live right now.
Oh, okay.
That's,
I'll talk to you later.
No, wait. Grace is moving out?
Yeah, she's getting
Are
married.
you out of your crazy ass mind? Grace is
No.
getting married.
She's getting married.
To
She must have met
who?
some guy online.
Cat?
What?
She's marrying her cat?
No, she met a guy in Oklahoma.
Really?
Really. And he's coming out to stay with her for her surgery. And then she's gonna retire early and they're gonna leave in the spring and move to Oklahoma.
We'll finally
they're
get the rent.
offer-
Or finally get the
What?
right amount of rent when we can get somebody else in there.
And they're offering us 2 extra months of rent after they leave to help us fix the place up and find somebody else.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I think
I
part
was
of that
going to
is
charge
because
them like 6 months.
you
extra.
can't do that.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, I'm
Charlie
shocked.
Kirk.
Like, I
Charlie
can't
Kirk.
believe she's getting married.
Charlie Kirk was shot from behind. The whole thing's a psyop. The book came just in time, and I'm covering my first major psyop.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say hi to the folks.
Hi, folks.
All
That
right,
worked.
sweetie.
So, but I just got that text message and I couldn't believe it. I thought she was
saw
joking.
that. I was like, what the hell?
What? I know.
I'm happy for her.
What?
That's so cool for her.
I know. I'm happy for her too.
I'm
I
so
just
happy
like
for her.
I would
God
never have
moves
thought.
in amazing ways, you guys. This woman would be the last person you think would ever get married. Okay. Last person you think would ever even have a boyfriend or even think in that direction. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to share any more personal information about her, but wow. Praise God, eh?
Yeah. So that's the story.
And you're sticking to it.
I asked her because she wants him to stay with her for a few months, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but I want to meet him.
Whoa. You got to ask Mr. Mab about that before you go making decisions like that. Woman, what the hell's going on here?
All right. I'm sorry.
That was funny. She thinks she's the boss, you guys. All right. You will receive your instructions when you get home.
Sounds good.
All right, love you.
Okay. Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, tell Dr. Lair happy birthday.
What?
Tell Dr. Lair happy birthday.
Okay, we'll do.
All right, bye. There you guys got it straight from the Mrs. Mab's mouth. I hope she'll be safe. Yes, Grace. I don't know how many years she's been living there now, but poor thing. Yeah, she just found out she had breast cancer, so that sucks. But she's been living there. She works for the county. She's a great tenant. I have great tenants. One's kind of messy, but I understand that because I'm messy. I collect stuff. If he collects anything I don't like, I make him get rid of it. If he collects something I like, I say, all right, when he leaves, I'll take it. Yes, Mrs. Mab says hello to all. I starred one comment. You can start important comments. Remember, discuss them during the show. Okay, gotcha. Yes. So let's listen to Buddy Brown.
And recently they've gone very, very dark about it. I think it's already been done. So now they're actively trying to build the third temple. And some Christians, for some reason, get excited about this. Here's the deal, y'all.
Third temple is the rise of the Antichrist. Come on, man. Sorry, I'm looking something up. All right. All right. No, I'm not upgrading. Come on, man. I'm looking something up. Would you stop with this shit? Anyway. Can't get into Chat GPT for some reason. Anyway, the red heifer gets sacrificed when the Messiah is coming, or when Jesus returns, or something.
Y'all need to know. When the third temple goes up, about this. Here's the deal y'all need to know. When the third temple goes up, it's not the rise of the Messiah. It's the rise of the Antichrist. The whole world is gonna see after that. The only thing they're gonna see is every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord. And they're gonna be in for a very shocking revelation. And y'all gotta remember, there's a bunch of people, even Christians, who believe the rapture is gonna be September 23rd, which means we can absolutely guarantee you that the rapture is not gonna be September 23rd because nobody knows the day or the hour.
That's right. Jesus said himself, Matthew, but no one knows that day and hour, not even the angels of heaven, all right? But only the Father. Not even Jesus, right? But no one knows of that day and hour, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only. So Jesus doesn't even know when he's coming back. Holy mackerel.
God knows his own timelines. He's got his own timelines no matter what we push. So we need to watch the news, and we need to watch what happens at the UN on the 22nd.
Today is the 22nd.
Personally believe there's going to be a shift unlike we've ever seen. It's either going to be seen spiritually or it's actually going to be physically, which is...
All right, Ro. There's more psyops. I'm not ready for it either. Heather, myself, I am not ready for the end times. How do I make somebody a mod, you guys? Tell me. I know it's easy because I've done it before. Huh. Whatever. I'll figure it out. Okay, so
Is even more terrifying, but Trump will be speaking. And there's going to be a big, big thing going on. So we got to wait and find out what that is. In the meantime, with all the evil that we've seen, let me comfort you with this verse. It comes from Psalm 37, 10 through 13. A little while, and the wicked will be no more. Though you look for them,
amen.
they will not be found. But the meek will inherit the land and enjoy great.
I always thought the meek were the meek, you know, the downtrodden, the unimportant, the poor. That's not what it really means, apparently.
Peace. They plot wicked against the righteousness and gnash their teeth at them, but the Lord laughs at the wicked, for he knows their day is coming.
All right. So what does the meek really mean?
Look, I don't know if you're like me, but I always thought back when I was 10 years old that meek meant weakness. I was like, I don't want to be weak. That's the last thing I want to be, you know? Until I realized that the biblical interpretation of meek is actually possessing strength under control.
Wow. Possessing strength under control. Wow. Why do I say when it's side by side, it should be side by side, not. So it just got rid of my freaking video when I did that. All right. Let's do this.
Possessing strength under control. That's exactly what we've seen all across America, all the vigils and the way people are coming together with their arms around each other and the split screens, especially if you look at the George Floyd riots.
Look at the difference between the left and the right, or the crazy people and the Christians. That's just, I'll put it that way, because I don't like the left and right thing, because in many ways, they're all the same thing. Some people are nuts and some people aren't. And the thing about the crazy people is that their voice is amplified about 1,000,000 times louder than everybody else's voice. My voice, your voice. We are the tiny fraction of, I feel Project Bluebeam could fake the coming. Yes, they could. Yes, kind of kick it. Psyops. I'm never going to run out of content, you guys. Oh, Monday Night Football? Monday Night Football's tonight. Do I have time to watch Monday Night Football? I'm supposed to be working outside right now. I got a tractor to get running. I got a crane to adjust. I got a chipper to finish. I got a house to paint. I got a front and backyard to landscape. I have a septic system put in another city. I got projects out 10 years, folks. I'll be dead by the time I get my projects done. Seattle Seahawks. Go Seahawks. Go Niners. I remember when I was young and we had the Niners. We had Joe Montana. Oh my God. We were on top of the world back then because we had the baddest ass football team in history. Yes, we are supposed to be ready at any moment. You're supposed to be ready at all times. I'm ready right now. Yeah, I think I'm ready. I've been ready. I don't have cable either, Heather. I don't have football, but it's too expensive. Like Dolly always says, you can't hide that money, Mab. I'm like, geez, I wish I had money to hide. I got a couple properties, but I ain't got no money That don't mean you got money. That means you got bills. That means you got shit to do that costs money. That don't mean you got cash to spend. I used to be rich when I was a mover and a shaker. I've been on both sides, you guys. I've been a corporate, on top of the game corporately. I've been, one day I made 680 grand in one fucking day. That's not to brag, but I'm just saying I've been on both sides of the coin, and it didn't change me a bit. Money doesn't mean a damn thing. It just creates more problems. I like to be not rich, but comfortable. Because you get rich and you're just, if I had $10 million right now, I'd be doing the same damn thing I'm doing right now. I just have nicer shit, probably. I might not even have nicer shit. Never mind. I'm going off the deep end. I'm pulling the dolly.
Versus the people coming together last week in arms, in prayer, not damaging any buildings, not stealing any stuff. That's how you know you're possessing strength under control. That's a beautiful thing. So it's not that these people are weak. Actually, their strength is more terrifying than anything they could ever imagine on the left. But it's strength under control. And we don't repay evil for evil because that's God's job.
That's right. We don't repay evil with evil. That's what they want. They want that right now. Looks like Trump is live right now.
He said he would do it. He said, y'all hold tight. I got this. So last week was literally the shot heard around the world. And we need to pray that the Jewish people in Israel repent. I also pray for all the Muslim nations, especially in that 1040 corridor. You should look that up.
Bam! Non-religious, ethnic, Hindu, Buddhist, Muslim, and Muslim. That's about 1/5 of the world.
The 1040 corridor of all the people who have not been evangelized to and not heard the gospel yet. That stuff is really interesting. He's not going to come until that happens. There's too many conservative people and conservative personalities and conservative media right now trying to just draw lines all over the place.
You guys, speaking of conservative, I don't like the conservative left-right deal, but people with common sense. 90% of the people, 85 to 90% of the people in this country think the same way, that have common sense. There's 10 to 15% of dumb shits and assholes and propagandize, and a lot of them aren't even doing it on purpose. Most of them are just victims of psyops and victims of propaganda. Now, when I was a kid, the news, they had journalists that actually did news. Was it the beginning of when they started infiltrating the news? Yes. They started infiltrating the news back when I was a kid. But mostly they had journalists. They had actual journalists, and they didn't have the kind of control they have now. But now with social media, government is getting a lot tougher to do. Because most people are smart now. They've seen CBID. They've seen us people pull their fucking they've seen people pull the psyops on us. CBID was a psyop. As soon as I heard that shit, very second I heard what was going on, I immediately knew it was a psyop and it was bullshit. I just immediately knew. My gut just said, this is fucking a psyop. I've been seeing it my whole life. I can tell you on my hand right here, the psyop, the biggest ones I remember. Iraq was a psyop. I think they went in there for another reason, and they went in there. It was all bullshit. There was no MWD. There was no biolab buried. Saddam Hussein was a fucking maniac, but it was a stable country. What you do with a stable country, you don't go and bomb the shit out of it and then let the terrorists take over. That's stupid. All right. Afghanistan, I don't think Afghanistan was a psyop. I think Afghanistan was stupid. Afghanistan is a tribal country. It is made up and run by tribes. Like this was, yeah, Bush family, and yes. And yes, can I kick it? I gotcha. I used to subscribe Time magazine way back until they started leaning one direction. It was the direction I was, but it was offensive. I think our choices in faith should be free to come to. I agree totally. But like most people, I think that are way psycho right now with blue hair and they weigh 400 pounds and they got nose rings and fucking tongue rings and they're transgender. And I don't have anything against blue hair. I don't have anything against bodies, shaving. I don't care against beautiful women. I've seen a lot of heavy, beautiful women. In fact, I've been with some. But I don't have any of that crap. I love all people, but the psycho people have been propagandized. They've been molded into who they are by our education system and by our media. And if you just watch MSDNC your whole life and listen to what your professors tell you, you're going to come out looking like a fucking idiot too. Okay? Just the way it is. My daughter just has come out of the propagandizement and she's 30. It took her that long I had her in Christian school from freaking day one, all the way up to when she went to college. When she went to college, they propagandized her ass bad. And it took 10 years, 13 years for her to come back. When Charlie got assassinated, she called me 3 times that day, bawling her head off, because her friend group are a bunch of left-wing lunatics, druggies. And I was like, honey, you need to get rid of those people. They're not your friends. They're idiots. You know they are. But it's so amazing to see all the life of these people. I know, honey, but you got to get rid of them. They're idiots. They're going to take you down with them. Yeah. I agree, Heather. Coast to coast. And I can't find it anywhere. Yeah, I remember. Now we only got 10 people watching. They got the news. They're out.
And create division. My mission is not to debate at college campuses. It's to wake up the army of Christ followers. So look, God's people are not defined by pews, potlucks, or programs. All right. Last week completely killed all lukewarm spirits in the church. Hallelujah and amen. But you must remember, we're not here to put on a suit and walk into a building and sing 3 songs just before checking your phone before the sermon starts. It's not what it's about. You're about to see the beginning of a massive shift, all to one man in power at the UN conference, September 22nd. And y'all want to know why the young generation like me always had a disconnect with the church? It's because the church used to look like this. You wonder why the young men are flooding back in record numbers now? It's because the church is now starting to look like this. If you stepped up your faith this past week, it's a great thing. I want you to hit like if you did that. That way we can stand with you. God bless you. Y'all be good.
I love Buddy Brown. So the red heifer has already been sacrificed according to AI. A purported red heifer sacrifice occurred in Israel on July 1st, 2025 by a group led by Texas rancher Byron Stinson. Though many reports indicate the heifer was subsequently disqualified due to disqualifying factors, the ritual is a key component for rebuilding the third temple, a goal pursued by certain religious groups as a sign of the coming Messianic age. While Stinson asserts sacrifice was valid, Temple Institute, central organization for the third temple preparation, has officially stated that heifers they were overseeing for such ritual have all been disqualified. I don't believe it. I think they've already done it. Everything's a freaking psyop. Come on, man. Can't fool Mab. Not going to happen. Well, indoctrination. You have to educate yourself these days. Careful of powerful companies and agencies. You got it. All right, brother. I'll see you later, Sean. You rock too, brother. Yeah. So what is going on today? Trump speaking somewhere? Let's see. I noticed the Buddy Brown again.
Right, today we're going to talk about September 23rd and why it's one of the most Googled dates of the entire calendar year. I want to separate fact from fiction for y'all. I definitely want to use scripture and just kind of drown out all the noise of the social media stuff that's going out there to get clicks, because it's deceiving a lot of people. And I want to...
If anybody on YouTube thinks that YouTubers don't do shit for clicks and views, I mean, it's the whole freaking idea of YouTube. It's clicks and views. And anybody that says they're not doing it is lying.
Everybody just calm the heck down. This video is sponsored by Chalk. I've been taking this stuff now for about 3 months now. Focus and drive in just 21 days. It can use promo code BUDDY and you're going to get... All right, so let's get into this. September 23rd, okay? That is Rosh Hashanah. If you don't know what Rosh Hashanah is, it is the Jewish New Year. It's a big deal. It's like our January 1st. Everybody's celebrating. Everybody's going crazy over there. It's also known as the Feast of Trumpets. September 24th is going to be the last day of the Feast of Trumpets, where they're going to blow 100 trumpet blasts on a shofar. They're going to broadcast it live on international TV everywhere. Everybody's going to see it. Cast it live on international TV everywhere. Everybody's going to see it at the same time. They're trying to usher in their Messiah, which they don't realize they killed 2,000 years ago. So what's actually going on and what's actually going to be what they're ushering in is the real question. Here's another thing. There is a darn good chance that they already sacrificed the red heifer. Okay, even though they're going to tell you they didn't, they don't have anything like that. You know, come on.
Come on, man. Come on.
Had perfect ones over there for a couple years now. And recently they've gone very, very dark about it. I think it's already been done. So now they're actively trying to build the third temple. And some Christians, for some reason, get excited about this. Here's the deal y'all need to know. When the third temple goes up, it's not the rise of the Messiah. It's the rise of the Antichrist.
Not looking forward to that. I hope I outlive this bullshit.
The whole world is gonna see after that. The only thing they're gonna see is every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord. And they're gonna be in for a very shocking revelation. And y'all gotta remember, there's a bunch of people, even Christians, who believe the rapture is gonna be September 23rd, which means
there's gonna be a lot of crazy ass people doing a lot of crazy ass shit. Chuck Meisler, yes. Chuck Meisler is a pastor, right, Heather? Even when your own food supply is contaminated with stuff that is bad for us, some people make money. Yeah. Well, that's what RFK Jr. is trying to do. To regulate the food industry a little bit more. You guys, I'm going to leave you to your own devices for like a minute so I can make myself another coffee. It's empty. And Mrs. Mab is not here to make me another one. So, chat. They got music on here. I don't know how to do YouTube. Yeah, I'll figure it out later. That's what I always say. I'll figure it out later. Be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm back. You made go out. Everybody go to the bathroom. So sorry, Paul. Tea. I don't drink tea. I drink coffee. Oh, I was just thinking about this psyop that's going on right now. This could be a dual. He was not a pastor. He was on the boards of big companies in his 60s. He became a teacher. Meisler. You know, I have to look that up. Oh, a couple things. Can I kick it? Yeah, I take fucking ivermectin like once a month, like a whole course of it. Because if I don't, my digestive system gets all fucked up from the shit in the food. Until I find something that doesn't contain the shit that it contains. You know, I need to start growing my own shit or something like that. But yeah, the food is not clean if you're getting it from a store. The second thing is, what if the second part of the psyop is a psyop? Because it's not impossible to fake. It's not impossible to fake stuff. Looks like we got live. Yeah, that Red Heifer's been talking about back in the 90s. Yeah. Well, let's get this gone through again real quick here.
We can absolutely guarantee you that the rapture is not going to be September 23rd because nobody knows the day or the hour. God knows his own timelines. He's got his own timelines no matter what we push. So we need to watch the news and we need to watch what happens at the UN on the 22nd.
I gotta look that up. UN 22nd. Well, Trump's speaking right now. So let's go over there and see what he's talking about. Let's share a screen. Move that one. I don't know why you can't have two screens at the same time and share between.
And today that gives me great comfort because 11 days ago, as a
Let's start over. What's going on? Oh, you found out there's medical problems with our kids, huh? What a shock. What a shock. Didn't mean to do that.
It's time for Lefties Losing It.
Oh.
Now, while normal people from across America were gathering in Phoenix to pay tribute to Charlie Kirk,
best days are ahead and are willing to see.
People know that to be a true presence of God here. This will be quite where he'll deliver a speech at the United Nations. That's scheduled for tomorrow. Meantime, just some news just coming out from TPUSA. It's saying this is the turning point. This is a screenshot that I have here. It says 9/22, so that is today. The University of Minnesota, Twin Cities with Michael Knowles. Then on the 24th at Virginia Tech, 9:30 at Utah State. October 7th, Montana State. So Vivek Ramaswamy, Glenn Beck, Tucker Carlson, Rob Schneider, Frank Turek, all these people, Megyn Kelly, the governor of.
Yeah, if they thought they were going to shut up Turning Point USA because why does this look all screwed up? Sorry, guys, I'm screwing up big time here. There. Yeah, the Whole Foods use chemicals and agents to make you grow bigger and better and stay fresh longer, but a lot of pesticides and harmful shit. Yes. But I think they also put what? I wish you could grow food. Need a greenhouse. Build a greenhouse. They're easy to build. Buy a screw gun and some wood and some plexiglass and build your damn self a greenhouse.
Virginia, Glenn Youngkin. A lot of people going out there, continuing on with TPUSA, doing what Charlie did so well. So that's something that was just posted within the hour. Great to see that, because that's what goes out.
Today, Charlie Kirk rests in glory in heaven for all eternity. He has gone from speaking on campuses in Wisconsin to kneeling at the throne of God, where he is right now. We grieve for the friend and leader that we have lost, but we go forward strengthened by his faith and bolstered by his courage and inspired by his example to defend the country he lived for the freedoms he died for, and the values in which he so deeply believed. He believed in values that we should all believe in.
The face of our psyop, of the psyop, poor Charlie Kirk. Definitely a psyop. I mean, I just can't. Stephen Miller, the forces of evil made Charlie Kirk immortal. Is that what they were trying to do? Historians will say Charlie Kirk's sacrifice saved Western civilization. That's a little bit of a reach. Easy, guys. Listen. Right. Amen, Heather.
Most of all, God's mercy and God's love have been revealed to me these past 10 days. After Charlie's assassination, we didn't see violence. We didn't see rioting. We didn't see revolution. Instead, we saw what my husband always prayed he would see in this country. We saw revival.
Perhaps it should be no surprise that Charlie, who spent his life speaking with the critics of these traditions, ultimately became convinced that we needed not just a political realignment, but also a spiritual reawakening. We did.
Yep.
And we have to bring back religion to America, because without borders, law and order, and religion, you really don't have a country anymore. We want religion brought back to America. We want to bring God back into our beautiful USA like never before. We want God back. Charlie would have been so pleased to hear his friends and colleagues today giving testimony and giving glory to God.
I know it's not much, but nothing else. See, one more time. So I throw up my head, praise you again. All that I have is a hallelujah, hallelujah. And I know it's not all mine. Worthy is, for you are holy, holy are you, Lord, Almighty. Worthy is the Lamb. Come on, tell them now. For you are holy, holy are you, Lord God Almighty. Worthy is the Lamb. Worthy is the Lamb. For you are holy, holy are you, Lord God Almighty. Worthy is the Lamb. For you are holy, holy are you, Lord? Are you, Lord? Come on, lift it up. This is a sound that can shake the nation. Worthy is the Lamb. For you are holy, holy are you, Lord God Almighty. Worthy is the Lamb. Worthy is the Lamb. You are holy. Are you, Lord God Almighty?
What a moment there in Glendale, Arizona. And it's not just a moment that has to be fleeting. That's something that, you can have your own praise and worship session at your house, you know what I mean, with you and your God, or you at a church or wherever. Let's go now to RSBN host Christina Loren, joining us live from Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, USA. And there are some gospel.
Let's see what y'all are saying. Spit a piece of wood. I'm like, and I'm there. Lift up the stone, and you will find me there. That's right. Split a piece of wood, and I'm there. Lift up the stone, and you will find me there. You will find me in every atom in the universe. God made laws. I mean, most of our laws are based on Christianity. Country's supposed to be based on Christianity, but it's a complicated thing. I'm non-denominational myself. Calvary Chapel. Yeah. What's going on with this? Live Trump something or something.
Him at the center of your life. And so many of us, we needed that reminder. And so I think that was a big part of yesterday. And for those who don't know Christ yet,
Of the algorithm in the United States overseen by Oracle, and then complete control of American user data, which will remain. Yesterday, President Trump, of course, honored Charlie Kirk's legacy, describing him as a martyr for American freedom. You heard Karen Levitt also speak about Charlie Kirk and her respect for the great Charlie Kirk. We also heard about TikTok from Karen Levitt. Also, President Trump's deal to save TikTok, we're told, will include a new ownership group with majority American investors, a secure operation of the algorithm in the United States overseen by Oracle, and then complete.
I heard most of the investors were from a certain country in the Middle East. Don't know that for a fact, but that's what I've heard. That is a good one, Paul. I love that one. This is getting boring real quick. I thought he was speaking or something.
At RSBN, we deliver the truth when the mainstream media falls short. Since 2015, we've proudly broadcasted every single one of President Trump's iconic MAGA rallies, bringing you the excitement and energy live before anyone else. By watching RSBN, you get an unfiltered front row view of the action on the ground. We interview the crowds to give a voice to millions of Americans just like you.
For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, but thanks be to God for his grace and our faith in him, that we can be connected to God and live out this freedom, live out everything that we're seeing that is on the right side of history out there. All right, let's get back to the White House when it comes to some stories that we're tracking out of 1600 Pennsylvania, saying a number of things, calling President Trump a fascist. Tim Walz, Donald Trump is a fascist, quote unquote, to his core. These are all the things, and I can go on with a list here. This is all credible information, all stories tracking from the White House. Violent political rhetoric has to stop. You know, we're seeing that an employee of Tim Walz's state government was caught vandalizing those Teslas to the extent of $20,000. When confronted with his violence, Democrats downplayed it, with AOC referring to the Los Angeles riots this summer as just teens throwing rocks. California Governor Gavin Newsom said, we're fighting fire with fire and we're going to punch those sons of bitches in the mouth, end quote. That's from California Governor Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom's a piece of shit.
So the political rhetoric, as you've seen, the violent political rhetoric, we know where what the majority of it is coming from, right? On the movement, which is a good sign, of course. We head there to the Roosevelt Room as they're putting up the various posters for this announcement. Let's go now to the president.
Thank you very much. So I've been waiting for this meeting for 20 years, actually. And it's not that everything's 100% understood or known, but I think we've made a lot of strides. Wish it was done a long time ago. Today, we're delighted to be joined by America's top medical and public health professionals as we announce historic steps to confront the crisis of autism. Horrible, horrible crisis. I want to thank the man who brought this issue to the forefront of American politics along with me. And we actually met in my office, is it like 20 years ago, Bobby? It's probably 20 years ago in New York. I was a developer, as you probably heard, and I always had very strong feelings about autism and how it happened and where it came from. And he and I don't know, the word got out, and I wouldn't say that people were very understanding of where we were, but it's turning out that we understood a lot more than a lot of people who studied it, we think. And I say we think because I don't think they were really letting the public know what they knew. Thanks as well to the director of the National Institute of Health, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, FDA Commissioner, Dr. Marty McCary. These are great people. Administrator of the Centers for Medicine and Medicaid Services, Dr. Mehmet Oz, and Acting Assistant Secretary of HHS, Dr. Dorothy Fink. So thank you all. Thank you, Dorothy, very much. The meteoric rise in autism is among the most alarming public health developments in history. There's never been anything like this. Just a few decades ago, 1 in 10,000 children had autism. So that's not a long time. And I've always heard, you know, they say a few, but I think it's a lot less time than that. It used to be 1 in 20,000, then 1 in 10,000. And I would say that's probably 18 years ago. And now it's 1 in 31, but in some areas it's much worse than that, if you can believe it. 1 in 31.
1 in 31 is a national emergency. Okay? That is not cool. 1 in 31 people is autistic now? You mean we're going to have a whole new political party called the Autistic Kids of America? Good Lord. What do you guys think about that? Holy shit.
And I gave numbers yesterday for boys. It's 1 in 12.
What?
I was told that's in California with
California, 1 in 12. I got to look that up. That's alarming. 1 in 12 kids is autistic. That might be the best thing that's ever happened to this country because autistic kids are smarter than hell.
they have for some reason, a more severe problem. But whether it's 1 in 12 or 1 in 31, can you imagine? That's down from 1 in 20,000 and 1 in 10,000. And now we're at the level of 1 in 12 in some cases for boys, 1 in 31 overall. So since 2000, autism rates have surged by much more than 400%. Instead of attacking those who ask questions, everyone should be grateful for those who are trying to get the answers to this complex situation. And the first day all of these great doctors behind me were there, I told them this is what we have to find out. Because when you go from 20,000 to 10,000 and then you go to 12, there's something artificial. They're taking something. And by the way, I think I can say that there are certain groups of people that don't take vaccines and don't take any pills that have
What? The Mapster.
Have no autism. That have no autism. Does that tell you something? That's currently, is that a correct statement, by the way?
There are some studies that suggest that, yeah, with the Amish, for example.
The Amish, yeah, virtually. I heard none. See, Bobby wants to be very careful with what he says, and he should, but I'm not so careful with what I say. But you have certain groups. The Amish, as an example, they have essentially no autism.
Hey, total cutie.
First, effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen. That's like Tylenol, ain't it?
Acetaminophen.
Isn't that like Tylenol?
Is that okay? Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol. During pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good.
Some very smart sub of mine also told me that if you don't make eye contact in the early years of your baby's development, it can also lead to autism. And this lady is like one of the smartest people I know. And I haven't talked to Baby Matt about it yet, but I think I'm going to. I'm going to find out what she thinks because she's like the autism queen. And her whole job is working with autistic kids every single day. She's got the bruises to show for it and the scars. But let's continue. Yeah, so if you're looking at your screen, looking at your phone, and you don't make eye contact with your baby while you're raising that baby and you're not gazing into its eyes with love, there's going to be a problem. That kid is not going to know they're loved if you're not looking into their soul with love in your eyes. I used to do that all the time with my daughter. I never had a phone or anything like that. My daughter thinks I'm the greatest. She was in the chat yesterday during the live. It was awesome. Baby man, Laura Lynn.
All right, I'll say it. It's not good. For this reason, they are strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary. That's, for instance, in cases of extremely high fever, that you feel you can't tough it out, you can't do it. I guess there's that. It's a small number of cases, I think. But if you can't tough it out, if you can't do it, that's what you're going to have to do. You'll take a Tylenol, but it'll be very sparingly. Can be something that's very dangerous to the woman's health. In other words, a fever that's very, very dangerous, and ideally a doctor's decision, because I think you shouldn't take it. And you shouldn't take it during the entire pregnancy. They may tell you that toward the end of the pregnancy, you shouldn't take it during the entire. And you shouldn't give the child a Tylenol every time he's born and he goes and has a shot. You shouldn't give a Tylenol to that child. All pregnant women should talk to their doctors for more information about limiting the use of this medication while pregnant. So ideally, you don't take it at all. But if you can't tough it out, if there's a problem, you're going to end up doing it. The other thing that I can tell you that I'll say that they will maybe say at a little bit later date, but I think when you go for the shot, you do it over a 5-time period. Take it over 5 times or 4 times, but you take it in smaller doses and you spread it out over a period of years. And they pump so much stuff into those beautiful little babies. It's a disgrace.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I think it's very bad. They're pumping, it looks like they're pumping into a horse. You have a little fragile child, and you get a vat of 80 different vaccines, I guess.
What? I thought it was 70 something. Now it's 80?
Yes, 80 different blends, and they pump it in.
My God. What does this world come to?
So ideally, a woman won't take Tylenol. And on the vaccines, it would be good instead of one visit where they pump the baby, load it up with stuff. You'll do it over a period of 4 times or 5 times.
How about a 0 period of none? Just do what they gave us as kids. 3 or 4. The big 3, measles, chicken pox, whatever, but not 80 vaccines. Are you out of your freaking mind? Good Lord. Have mercy on us.
I mean, I've been so into this issue for so many years just because I couldn't understand how a thing like this could happen. And it's artificially induced. It's not like something that when you go from all of those, healthy babies to a point where I don't even know structurally if a country can afford it. And that's the least of the problems. To have families destroyed over this is just so terrible. I also, and we've already done this, we want
all for profit. Destroy the United States of America and see how much money we can make doing it.
No mercury in the vaccine. We want no aluminum in the vaccine. The MMR, I think, should be taken.
MMR should be taken off the market.
Taken separately. This is based on what I feel. The mumps, measles, and all the 3 should be taken.
Mumps, measles, and polio. Is that what he's talking about?
Separately. And it seems to be that when you mix them, there could be a problem. So there's no downside in taking them separately. In fact, they think it's better. So let it be separate. The chicken pox is already separate because when that got mixed in, I guess they made it 4 for a while. It really was bad. So they make chicken pox. Individually, they're okay. When you mix them, something maybe happens. So there's no downside in doing it. It's not like, oh, if you do it, bad things. No, it's only good side. And it may not have that much of an impact, but it may have a big impact. So let those be taken separately. And then hepatitis B is sexually transmitted.
Why would you give that to anybody? Please tell me they're not giving babies that.
There's no reason to give a baby that's almost just born hepatitis B.
Are you out of your freaking mind? They're giving babies hepatitis vaccines? This I knew when I started looking into this shit, it was going to be bad like this.
So I would say wait till the baby is 12 years old and formed and take hepatitis B. And I think if you do those things, it's going to be a whole
Right, Heather.
different, it's going to be a revolution in a positive sense in the country.
I mean, can I kick
The FDA will be updating the label of an existing drug to reflect potential benefits in reducing some autism symptoms. This gives hope to the many parents with autistic children that it may be possible to improve their lives. That's one of the things that I'm very, very happy about. I mean, this was mostly going to be on how not to have the child affected, but we've learned some pretty good things about certain elements of genius that can be given to a baby, and the baby can get better. And in some cases, maybe substantially better. Not going to be easy, but be a lot easier if it didn't happen in the first place, as these great parents fully understand, right? They fully understand. I feel so terribly for. I have so many friends with autistic children. It's a tough situation. Finally, to help reach the ultimate goal of ending the autism fever, the NIH will be announcing 13 major grant awards from the Autism Data Science Initiatives. And to be honest with you, to me, that's the least important. It's not even a money thing at this point. There's so much money, but they have to do, and they have to move quickly. When the alternative is that nothing bad can happen, let's do it now. I was just saying to Bobby and the group, let's do it now. Nothing bad can happen.
Common sense, people. Just common freaking sense. Heather is now mod.
Can only good happen. But with Tylenol, don't take it. Don't take it. And if you can't live, if your fever is so bad, you have to take one, because there's no alternative to that. Sadly, first question, what can you take instead? It's actually, there's not an alternative to that. And as you know, other of the medicines are absolutely proven bad. I mean, they've been proven bad with the aspirins and the Advils and others, right? And they've been proven bad. So I'd like to ask Bobby to get up to the podium and say a few words, and then Dr. Bhattacharya and Dr. McCary, Dr. Oz, Dr. Fink, followed by two incredible mothers that have experienced firsthand what this country is going through, what parts of the world are going through. And I will say there are parts of the world that don't take Tylenol. I mean, there's a rumor, and I don't know if it's so or not, that Cuba, they don't have Tylenol because they don't have the money for Tylenol.
I remember that, Marcia.
And they have virtually no autism, okay? Tell me about that one. And there are other parts of the world where they don't have Tylenol, where they don't have autism. That tells you a lot. And I want to say it right now. And, you know, the way I look at it, don't take it. Don't take it. There's no downside in not taking it. So I'd like to ask Bobby to come up and say a few words. I hope I didn't ruin his day, but that's the way I feel. I've been very strong on the subject for a long time. You know, life is common sense, too. And there's a lot of common sense in this. And I wish things like this were brought up. And this group has worked so hard on it. But I'd like to be a little bit more, a little speedier in the process of a recommendation, because there's no harm in going quicker. There's absolutely no harm. At worst, there's no harm. Thank you very much, Bobby, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. To meet the president's challenge, I ordered HHS to launch an unprecedented all-agency effort to identify all causes of autism, including toxic and pharmaceutical exposures. At President Trump's urging, NIH, FDA, CDC, and CMS are turning over every stone to identify the etiology of the autism epidemic and how patients and parents can prevent and reverse this alarming trend. We have broken down the traditional silos that have long separated these agencies, and we have fast-tracked research and guidance. Historically, NIH has focused almost solely on politically safe and entirely fruitless research about the genetic drivers of autism. And that would be like studying the genetic drivers of lung cancer without looking at cigarettes. And that's what NIH has been doing for 20 years. As a result, we don't have an answer to this critical question. Despite the cataclysmic impact of the epidemic on our nation's children, we are now replacing the institutional culture.
I don't know what RFK Jr. has, medical condition from his voice, but he has a medical condition that causes him to talk that way. Can I kick it? I don't know what it is, but I'll find out.
Of politicized science and corruption with evidence-based medicine. NIH research teams are currently testing multiple hypotheses with no area off limits. We promise transparency as we uncover the potential causes and treatments, and we will notify the public regularly of our progress. Today, we are announcing two important findings from our autism work that are vital for parents to know as they make these decisions. First, HHS will act on acetaminophen. The FDA is responding to clinical and laboratory studies that suggest a potential association between acetaminophen use during pregnancy and adverse neurodevelopmental outcomes, including later diagnosis for ADHD and autism. Scientists have proposed biological mechanisms linking prenatal acetaminophen exposure to altered brain development. We have also evaluated the contrary studies that show no association. Today, the FDA will issue a physician's notice about the risk of acetaminophen during pregnancy and begin the process to initiate a safety label change. HHS will launch a nationwide public service campaign to inform families and protect public health. FDA also recognized that acetaminophen is often the only tool for fevers and pain in pregnancy, as other alternatives have well-documented adverse effects. HHS wants, therefore, to encourage clinicians to exercise their best judgment.
I'm sure there is some homeopathic remedy for fever. All right. I bet you I could find out in 5 minutes.
And the use of acetaminophen for fevers and pain in pregnancy by prescribing the lowest effective dose for the shortest necessary duration and only when treatment is required. Furthermore, thanks to the politicization of science, the safety of acetaminophen against the risk of neurodevelopmental disorders in young children has never been validated. Prudent medicine, therefore, suggests caution in acetaminophen use by young children, especially since strong evidence also has associated it with liver toxicity. Some studies have also found the use of acetaminophen in children can potentially prolong viral illnesses. FDA will drive new research to safeguard mothers, children, and families. In addition to a possible acetaminophen connection to autism for pregnant women, infants, and toddlers, our research has revealed that folate deficiency in a child's brain can lead to autism. We have also identified an exciting therapy that may benefit large numbers of children who suffer from autism. Peer-reviewed literature has documented that up to 60% of folate-deficient children with ASD can have improved verbal communications if given leucovorin. I have instructed NIH, FDA, and CMS to help doctors treat children appropriately. Jay will help tell that story, which started with sound science, the kind that restores faith in government. This announcement also represents a historic collaboration between NIH, FDA, CDC, and CMS. We expect this to be the first of many announcements over the coming years that deliver actionable information to parents on underlying cause of autism and the potential paths for prevention and reversal. Finally, autism is a complex disorder with multifactorial etiology. We are continuing to investigate a multiplicity of potential causes with no areas of taboo. One area that we are closely examining, as the president mentioned, is vaccines. Some 40 to 70% of mothers who have children with autism believe that their child was injured by a vaccine. President Trump believes that we should be listening to these mothers instead of gaslighting and marginalizing them like prior administrations. Some of our friends like to say that we should believe all women. But some of these same people have been silencing and demonizing these mothers for 3 decades because research on the potential link between autism and vaccines has been actively suppressed in the past. It will take time for an honest look at this topic by scientists. But I want to reassure the people in the autism community that we will be uncompromising and relentless in our search for answers. We will perform the studies that should have been performed 25 years ago. Whatever the answer is, we will tell you what we find. We are researching this issue to all 3 agencies. Jay will discuss one of our research initiatives at NIH. This model of unleashing unbiased, depoliticized, gold standard scientific research and academic freedom to deliver actionable information to prevent and reverse disease will be a model for the framework to deliver similar results for many other chronic conditions that plague Americans. Jay?
Thank you, Secretary Kennedy, and thank you, President Trump.
Thank you very much.
I'm proud to announce today that the NIH has launched the Autism Data Science Initiative to turbocharge autism research, devoting an additional $50 million to the cause of studying autism. Nearly 250 research teams from across the country applied, sent in their applications, and were peer reviewed by the NIH review panels. The NIH review peer reviewers chose the 13 best projects focused on root causes and therapies, with replication and validation studies to guarantee gold standard science. The studies feature a new kind of science called exposomics, where scientists consider environmental and medical factors, nutrition, events during pregnancy, in combination with biology and genetics to answer vital questions about autism. Science like this, conducted in partnership with families and physicians, is the best way to arrest and reverse the autism epidemic. Autism spectrum disorder encompasses a very wide range of symptoms, ranging from mild difficulties with social interactions to profoundly autistic children who experience severe disabilities in speech and behavior. Given this wide range of symptoms across the spectrum, it seems certain that there will be a wide range of biological contributors to explaining the cause. The great thing about the new NIH initiative on autism is that scientists will use rigorous advanced methods in causal inference, machine learning, organoids, and other fresh approaches to the problem. The sharp rise in the prevalence of autism deserves an urgent response by the scientific community. As Bobby said, the NIH has invested a lot of money to study autism over the years, but the research has not produced the answers that families and parents of autistic children deserve, and autistic children themselves deserve. For too long, it's been taboo to ask some questions for fear the scientific work might reveal a politically incorrect answer. Because of this restricted focus in scientific investigations, the answers for families have been similarly restricted, often pointing families to behavioral therapies that don't work for every kid, or suggest non-modifiable genetic factors as the cause. But genetics alone can't explain such a sharp rise in autism prevalence over just a few decades, as the president said. In coming months and years, as NIH scientists learn more that can help autistic children and their families, we won't delay. Like scientists often like to do, I can say as a scientist myself, it's really tempting to delay, but but in face of a problem like this, you have to move fast. But we will not delay before telling American people about what we find, and we will win the public trust with transparency and rigor. Already, our broadened focus on autism research has pointed to 2 items that will help families prevent and treat some cases of autism. I'll leave the good news on these 2 items to my close friends and colleagues, Dr. McCary and Dr. Oz. We've been working together closely on this problem for the past 6 months, and our cooperation represents an unprecedented collaboration with Secretary Kennedy's Department of Health and Human Services and with President Trump. I'm delighted to introduce Dr. Marty McCary, Commissioner of the Food and Drug Administration, who will tell you about these announcements of practical help for families with autism.
Great, thank you, Dr. Bhattacharya. Mr. President, this is the start of a historic shift in medical culture. This administration is working together to ask big questions about why our nation's children are getting sick so fast. Too often, medicine is doing small little studies, giving us answers we already knew. But we've got to make a difference. You've given us a charge to identify root causes, and we are not going to stop. so that we can end the suffering we are watching. And if you've seen a kid with autism, with severe autism, it's hard to watch. Kids get frustrated, they get angry, they can be crying because they want to speak and they can't speak. It's hard to watch, and it may be entirely preventable. For an epidemiologist, that child is an expanding statistic, but for a child, it can be brutal to have autism. Today, the FDA is taking action to update the label on acetaminophen and sending a letter to all U.S. doctors letting them know about the risks in pregnancy. We now have data we cannot ignore. There's a very large study, the Boston Birth Cohort, with researchers that have from Johns Hopkins, my former institution, and Boston University, found quote unquote consistent associations between acetaminophen in pregnancy and autism. And the Nurses' Health Study with researchers from Yale, Columbia, and Harvard looking at 9,000 kids found that acetaminophen use in pregnancy was associated with neurodevelopmental disorders. And 4 weeks ago, a Mount Sinai Harvard study reviewed all the existing literature and found the overwhelming body of evidence points to an association. Sure, you'll be able to find a study to the contrary. That's how science works. But to quote the dean of the Harvard School of Public Health, there is a causal relationship between prenatal acetaminophen use and neurodevelopmental disorders of ADHD and autism spectrum disorder. We cannot wait any longer.
Right. I'm just playing this because I'm about out of steam here.
And honestly, there's been this perfunctory, reactionary, mindless practice in medicine. I learned it in medical school and residency. Just treat all fevers, low-grade fevers, treat them with acetaminophen. Why? What are we doing? A study out of Hopkins actually showed that treating a fever can prolong the duration of illness in a young kid. Maybe that's because a fever is a body's natural way of ridding an infection. When my wife was pregnant and delivered our son a few months ago, they pushed her to take acetaminophen for a low-grade fever. She said no, and then they looked to me and I said, absolutely no. I'm also here to announce good news. Today, the FDA is filing a Federal Register notice to change the label on an exciting treatment called prescription leucovorin so that it can be available to children with autism. You know, autism may also be due to an autoimmune reaction to a folate receptor on the brain, not allowing that important vitamin to get into the brain cells. It's a fairly established, mature pathway. Again, we have a duty to let doctors and the public know we are going to change the label to make it available. Hundreds of thousands of kids, in my opinion, will benefit. One study found that with kids with autism and chronic folate deficiency, 2/3 of kids with autism symptoms had improvement, and some marked improvement. Mr. President, you told us to do what's medically right, to go bold, and not worry about the corporations and the lobbyists. So that's what we're here doing today. Thank you, Mr. President.
Good, thank you. Thanks, Marty. I think you all appreciate the passion in the president's voice. We've been hearing that since the inauguration. In fact, even before the inauguration, the president was upset about what he spoke to today. And so together with Secretary Kennedy, who's made it his life's work to address some of these challenges with autism, they challenged us. In fact, they were harsher than that. They wanted no silos to break down what the NIH would do, what the FDA would do, what CMS would do. They insisted that the physician leaders bust through the clutter. And in the script, there should be two questions that you have, two questions that should come to your mind. The first is, how will patients and parents get access to the treatment? I'll tell you how. Over half of American children are covered by Medicaid and CHIP, government health insurance, over half. Therefore, because they're covered in Medicaid and CHIP, upon this label change by Marty, state Medicaid programs in partnership with CMS will cover prescription leucovorin around the country. It's yours, but you have to go to a doctor to get a prescription because they know your child, they know you, and they know the medication. States will also have tools to monitor its use and ensure appropriate utilization. That's important for a bunch of reasons because we want the right kids getting the right prescription medications. We believe private insurance companies will rapidly follow our lead if they have not already done so. And again, To make sure that this is safe and effective treatment, you need a physician to prescribe the medication because it's on prescription. Second big question. How are we going to collect clinical data to answer the big questions that the president's asking and the secretary insists that we offer? CMS is also issuing guidance to convene states and existing research networks to support NIH and FDA in their research efforts of prescription leucovorin, while also maintaining the privacy of all patients, all health information of our beneficiaries. Collecting real-world data, which is what many of you have been asking us to do in the community, is fast. It is life-saving, and we'll get answers based on what happens over the next few months with this approach. The aggressive approach, and it is aggressive, demanded by the president and by the secretary, have already identified risk factors and opened the door for the first FDA-recognized treatment pathway for autism. It is the first of its kind, and it wouldn't have happened without the leadership of the president and the secretary. The fivefold increased prevalence of autism over the past 25 years demands a rapid response. The average clinician, researcher, we spoke to many, thought it would take 5 years to get this data. Parents are unwilling to wait 5 years. The president is unwilling to wait 5 years for these results. So the president and the secretary are acting today with this tri-agency move. The administration's bold actions investing in groundbreaking research follow the science. They restore trust, which has been lacking, and they will change the trajectory for millions of American families. Mr. President, God bless you for being brave. So let me introduce Dr. Fink, who's acting administrator. And after Dr. Fink, we've got some wonderful women, Jackie and Amanda. I know it's going to be tough.
I miss Dr. Fauci. I want Dr. Fauci because he knows everything. He knows so much stuff that he could guide a whole country. With Fauci. Gag me with an effing spoon, man.
Tough, but if you can make some comments about this historic day, God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. President, for this opportunity to speak with all of you today. As a pediatrician and mom, I'm here today to talk about what this announcement means for the millions of moms and dads who are faced with the choice of whether to take acetaminophen during pregnancy. It's hard to hear information that challenges the status quo. We are sharing this information not to confuse, but to empower parents to make the best choices when taking medications during pregnancy. We are all concerned about the rising rates of neurodevelopmental disorders, including autism. President Trump and Secretary Kennedy are dedicated to radical transparency so that patients have the best, most up-to-date information. We are also sharing this information with our nation's doctors, and we encourage you, as always, to consult with your doctor to make the best decision for you. All too often, it's easy to think that medicines we buy without a prescription pose little to no risk for the mom or the baby. As you heard today, pregnant women who need high fever or pain reduction during pregnancy should take the lowest effective dose of acetaminophen for the shortest possible duration. Most women will not meet these indications during their pregnancies. I am encouraged by these developments today because it is another example of our commitment to the American people to leave no stone unturned in improving the health of our nation's children. Next, I'm going to turn it over to some incredible mothers who are going to share more about their stories, and we're so grateful to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President and team, for all your work. This is an historic day, and I'm thankful to be here. I have a son who's 5 who is profoundly autistic, and you've probably heard if you've met one autistic child, you've met one autistic child. It's a spectrum, which I don't think the spectrum is helpful, but that's another conversation. He is an amazing little boy.
Now, it's autism just like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, which is a group of symptoms call it a certain disorder because there's so many different things. What do you guys think?
A blessing from God. He's marvelous. He can count to 1,000. He knows all of his letters and the sounds they make and a word for each one. But he also has a lot of obstacles. He is nonverbal. He can say those numbers and letters, but there's no communication. Unless you've lived with profound autism, you have no idea. You have no idea.
So Baby Mab is like expert at getting autistic kids to be verbal. Where's that setting I had right there? Yeah. My daughter has gotten a bunch of autistic kids, nonverbal autistic kids, to be verbal. I don't know how she does it, but she does it.
He, like you said, he will get frustrated because he can't speak. It's not even that he can't speak. Sometimes he just doesn't understand what I'm saying. He understands the word no, but he doesn't understand the why behind the no. And that's a huge part of discipline. That's the discipline. So it's very hard to discipline a child with autism. So you have these behaviors. And it's very hopeless feeling. It's very isolating being a parent with a profound autistic child. Even just taking them over to your friend's house is something we just don't do because, again, they're going to be met with no, 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 and no understanding of why. And hope that he can get the help that he needs. And just thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Connie. You take care of yourself.
Hi, my name is Jackie. I'm also extremely grateful for the opportunity to be here and share my son's story. My son is Eddie. He's 11. He's on the opposite end of the spectrum from what Amanda just explained. He's considered high functioning. He was not always high functioning. He was nonverbal till the age 4. We've had quite a hard time to get to the place where we are today. I am just so grateful to President Trump and the entire administration for finally listening to moms who have been crying out for help, for answers for years. I've met so many other moms with children on the spectrum in the 9 years since my son's diagnosis, and they all have very similar stories, and they've all just wanted somebody to listen, to not ridicule them or look at them like they were the crazy people. It's hard when you don't have doctors that take the time to really listen and find out when the change happened and what change happened. And it's just, I've been praying for this day for 9 years, and I'm so thankful to God for bringing the administration into our lives. And I'm speechless. This day is a day I never thought would happen. I thought that we would never have an administration that was courageous enough to look into things that no prior administration had. So I'm just here to express my gratitude, and I am looking forward to what comes from this, and hopefully we just get more answers. So thank you.
Thank you very much. So I just want to say acetaminophen is basically Tylenol, essentially, because I noticed that term is used throughout this conference. So it's essentially Tylenol. And I just recommend strongly that you don't use Tylenol unless it's absolutely necessary. I understand it's maybe 10% of the women that are pregnant are, would singular shot, but the MMR is not. And I've heard for years that there's a problem with it. Little body of a baby, even if it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you just break it up into, I would say 5, but go back another year later, you're going to go back each year for 4 years, 5 years. My boy, you know him, sir. You've seen him grow up. He was so beautiful. And I took him for a vaccine, sir. And he developed this Unbelievable. I think she said 107, 108. You know, it goes well beyond when this happens. It goes up to 106, 107, 108. You know, we hear 105 and you're in trouble, but it just goes up to a level that you never hear about, but it goes up very high. And it's fried. They get fried. She said, I took him, he got developed an unbelievable temperature. And I've lost him, sir. He's gone. And then I saw the boy. It was so tragic to see. That was the following day. After the vaccine. And I've seen it 2 other times, and I think 3 other times, but 2 other times where they go to the doctor and they get the vaccine, they get the shot. The kid is, badly hurt. Let's be nice, badly hurt. And just do it. Break it up into 5, break it up into 4, break it up into 3 if you have to, but go to the doctor 4 times instead of once, or 5 times instead of once. And for some reason, they insist that you put it all into the body, and maybe that's the drug companies that make more money that way. Maybe it's the doctors because they don't want to be, doing this so much. Maybe it's the doctors. They get maybe more money. Who the hell knows what it is? Don't do it. Get them broken into 4 or 5 visits. Do it 4 or 5. That means you have 20%, 25% what you're putting into the baby's body. To do from you. And we have something else called Favored Nations, where I'm going to be reducing drug prices by 1,000%, by 900, 600, 500, 1,200. We're going to be reducing drug prices at levels never seen. It's called
That's not going to be popular.
Favored Nations. We're going to be paying what right now we're like the garbage can for the rest of the world, and we have been for forever. We pay much higher for drugs than the rest of the world. We subsidize the rest of the world. We're not doing that anymore. And that's a big thing. That's a big thing. That's bigger than anything. I told the story the other night that I was so proud in my first term that for the final year, drug prices went down 0.25%. And I was so proud. I said, why? I'm the first one to do it. I think it was 28 years, they said, where drug prices went down from the beginning of the term to the end. And I was so proud. I called a news conference. I said, drug prices have gone down. First time it's happened in 28 years. You know what it was? 0.25%. I was so proud. Now we're going to have them go down from $100 a pill to $9 a pill. From $1,300 for a shot of like an Ozempic or I call it the fat pill or the fat drug. Sometimes it works, I guess, for people. The ones I've seen, it hasn't worked so well. I got a lot of friends, they're fat. They said, yeah, I lost some weight. I said, you don't look it to me. But they paid $1,300, $1,200.
Trump is so funny when he talks. He doesn't pull any punches. He just says what he says.
And they go to London and they pay $88. And they call me, they go, what's this all about? We're subsidizing the rest of the world stupidly because there are a lot of stupid people in this country running things. And how big is that? But to me, that's nothing compared to autism. I see that gorgeous boy. I have a big present for him in the back. You bring him back. We're going to bring him into the Oval Office. I have the best present he's ever going to get, okay? A big one. I saved it for you, okay? Because I heard you were coming. Look how beautiful he is. So that's it. There's nothing much to say. Don't take Tylenol if you're pregnant, and don't give Tylenol to your child when he's born or she's born. Don't give it. Just don't give it. And we're going to have, I think, really, if you do all the things that I say, break it up. Just break it up. Break up the shots with the doctor. MMRs, as I told you, separate. Chickenpox already separate. You do these things. I'm telling you, when I leave office, I don't want to have, it's going to be the kind of number that we're hearing where it's 1 in 32 or 1 in 10, because I've heard 1 in 10 also. And in California, it's really bad. I want it to be, let's get it back to maybe 1 in 10,000 or 1 in 20,000 or maybe none in 20,000. Yeah, the only way you're going to do that, because this is artificially induced. This is induced by something. Yep. You don't go from 1 in 20,000 to 1 in 10,000, then to 1 in 10. That means you're taking something and something's wrong. And I feel very certain, and I know I'll be criticized. Someday they'll look back and they'll say, well, it wasn't, but I think it will. I think we're going to have a tremendous, this is the most important thing. There's nothing more important than me. We cured inflation that Biden gave us. He gave us so much inflation, the biggest ever in history. We got inflation done. We brought prices down. We gave you the largest tax cuts, all that stuff. It doesn't mean a thing compared to what we're doing today. This means everything. So we're going to save a lot of children from a tough life, really tough life. We're going to save a lot of parents from a tough life. Okay, how about a few questions? Let's just make it on this subject. This is so beyond as a subject that I'd rather not talk about, some nonsense on the economy. And I will say this, the economy is unbelievable. The stock market just had an in common, and that's called medical research. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, I'm curious as you look at the trend lines,
Yeah.
how much of this is the causation of acetaminophen and how much is sort of better diagnosis, doctors, researchers having a better understanding of what is on the autism spectrum?
Sure, go ahead.
That's one of the canards that has been promoted by the industry for many years, that it's changed diagnostic criteria, better recognition. But there's been study after study done of that completely debunks that. One of them by the Mind Institute at UC Davis, University of California. But also it's just common sense, because you're only seeing this in people who are under 50 years of age. If it were better recognition or diagnosis, you'd see it in 70-year-old men. I've never seen this happening in people my age. I've never seen a case of full-blown autism, and that means profound autism. I want to be very careful. Head banging, stimming, toe walking, nonverbal, non-toilet trained. I've never in my life seen a 70-year-old man who looks like that. You're only seeing it in the kids. It's an epidemic.
Thank you, Mr. President. I was hoping that you could clear up confusion for moms and dads across America, many of whom voted for you. There's a statement that was put out by the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, and in their statement, they write, acetaminophen remains a safe, trusted option for pain relief during pregnancy. And that's at odds with what you said and with what many of the experts say. How do you clear up this confusion?
That's the establishment. They're funded by lots of different groups. And you know what? Maybe they're right. I don't think they are, because I don't think the facts bear it out at all. They're fighting for something that, in my opinion, they shouldn't be fighting for. But here's the thing. There's no downside to doing, other than a mother will have to, as I say, tough it out a little bit. There's no downside to doing this. It's not like, oh, if you do this, you're going to die. There's no downside. There's no downside to going over a 4. And you know what's happened? We've gone from 1 in 20,000 to 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 32 to 1 in 10. Think of it. 1 in 10 or 12 or 1 in 31. Think of it. 1 in 31 people, young kids.
In touch with the companies, and they are prepared to ramp up production. And we actually talked to them about a month ago.
And on your second part of your nasty question, the number is 31. Think of it. 1 in 31 people, young kids, get autism. What is it, Jeff?
My question is about leucovorin. You mentioned that as part of your plan. That is also a chemotherapy treatment. Have you been in touch with the drug companies to increase production about that? I'm going to throw in my follow-up at the same time. Dr. Oz mentioned that this will be available with CHIP, children who are on CHIP. But the big beautiful bill reduced funding for CHIP and Medicaid by $1 trillion over the next 10 years. Are you concerned that that will impact your ability to get this drug out?
I'll explain it to you in a second, but please go ahead.
Thank you. Leucovorin is not a chemotherapy, but it is a vitamin given with chemotherapy sometimes. And the idea here is that the folic acid receptor in the brain is blocked by some antibody response. It might be 20, 40, 50% of kids with autism. And leucovorin will bypass that blocked receptor. And
I'm doing this, you guys, because I need some watch hours times. I need to do long lives. So my main live was the beginning. So this is just, I haven't seen it, so I'm watching it with you guys. So you can watch it or you can not watch it, but sweet.
And that's why so many doctors are probably seeing so much clinical improvement on kids with leucovorin.
So are you going to increase production?
Yeah,
Have you
we've been in
talked to
touch with the companies, and they are prepared to ramp up production. And we actually talked to them about a month ago.
And on your second part of your nasty question, the number is that the great big beautiful bill, which is the greatest, I think one of the best things ever passed in the history, with the tax cuts and regulation cuts and all of the things it does. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. All of it does. It also gives
When is this no tax on Social Security cut in? Because I'm all down for that.
$200 million, as just explained by Dr. Oz. And I'd like you to explain that to exactly what you're saying.
The Big Beautiful Bill actually increases Medicaid spending projected over the next 10 years by $200 billion. There's also a $50 billion rural health transformation fund, which will allow a lot of these programs to get in the rural parts of the country that the president and Congress are handing to governors to start distributing. Those grants have already gone out. The money will be allocated by the end of this calendar.
There's so many nasty ass mainstream media hacks out there that'll just take anything anybody says on the right and just turn it into some bullshit. And I believe that the FCC has an obligation to, because they get licenses from the FCC and money, and they're not out there supposed to be fucking propagandists. So if they want to spew their propaganda, they're going to have to fund themselves, in my opinion. And that's not trying to stop free speech. That's just not funding propaganda.
Calendar year. And I want to point out that the ability of NIH to do research that feeds and hands the ball to the FDA, which then can change labeling to allow Medicaid.
Yeah, Paul, no tax on tits. You can get your tits done, no tax.
Programs in states to fund this program will ensure that the things that President Trump and Secretary Kennedy desire are financially affordable for the families around America.
You mentioned CHIP. That's why I asked that question. You mentioned that CHIP would fund this for children.
But most of the kids are on Medicaid, probably 43% on Medicaid, another 10% on CHIP. And all the programs in general are being evaluated. Most of what the One Big Beautiful Bill was seeking to do was to remove fraud, waste, and abuse. But the programs themselves should stay financially intact for the people for whom they were designed.
Oh my God, you're going to stop fraud, waste, and abuse, which is like 50 or more % of the freaking people who are on it? You could save a hell of a lot of money that way. And then they'll turn it into, oh, they're cutting spending on all this stuff. Nobody's going to be able to get help. It's going to kill people.
In this case, for children.
And the only thing we cut, so that's 200 billion positive. The only thing we cut was for fraud, waste, and abuse, of which there was a lot in this country, and nobody minds that. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, you said that there is no reason to give newborn babies hepatitis B vaccines, but hepatitis B can be contracted not just through sexually transmitted diseases, sometimes from needles to open wounds. So when you say you feel, is that appropriate to be telling?
I think it's
public?
absolutely appropriate. I think they should wait till they're 12 years old. Yes, please.
Mr. President, thank you all for being here. You've been talking about reducing autism by spacing out vaccines. Would you like other combined vaccines babies receive to be spaced out like MMRV?
What is this again?
You've been talking.
Speak up, please.
Sir. You've been talking about reducing autism by spacing out vaccines.
Right, correct.
Would you like the other combined vaccines babies receive to be
No.
spaced out like MMRV?
I would say yes, but that just is, for me, it's a lot of common sense involved in this. It's a process, but we're looking, but it should at least be given separately. Now, it's possible that you can reduce them and I'd give them in small doses, but it's possible maybe in that particular case, the MMR wouldn't work in small doses, but you can certainly give them as separate shots. It's been proven to be very safe when you give them in separate shots instead of mixing. So I don't think there's any reason to do that. Do you agree with it? I'm not a doctor, but I'm giving my opinion. I don't think there's any reason to do that. So it's been proven to be safe when you break them up. But MMR by itself, I've heard bad things about it for many years. Yes, please.
Is the spectrum too broad, in your opinion? For research purposes, you are dealing with a population of children who might have social boundary difficulties, and then you have children who are, going to grow up to be adults in diapers. I mean, what do you think?
We don't know how broad the spectrum is. We don't know exactly where it starts and where it ends, but we do know what we're going through. We're going through some very serious trouble, and we know autism. I mean, it could be bigger, it could be small, a little bit smaller, but the number is unacceptable. And the number, the way it's come down, because the spectrums remain the same, the number, the way it's come down is just unacceptable, meaning come down to that level of 1 in 10, 1 in 12, 1 in 31.
Mr. President, medical professionals.
Go ahead in the back.
This question is more directed towards Secretary Kennedy. It was talked about that we're just kind of finding out about the fact that babies are affected this way. Is there a concern that information is being suppressed right now within HHS, and could an investigation perhaps be launched, seeing any more?
Well, I think information has been really not given out very freely over the years, absolutely. And I think that's by drug companies and maybe doctors, but I certainly think that over the years. I think this is a different group. We have a lot of information. And that information, I mean, it's the information that we have that we're making these statements. And I'm making them out front, and I'm making them loud, and I'm making them strongly not to take Tylenol, not to take it. Just don't take it unless it's absolutely necessary. And there's not too many cases where that will be the case. And again, what's the worst? The worst is nothing can happen. It's very positive. That's a positive thing. But I don't believe I don't actually believe that's possible. I think the results are going to be amazing. I want to see amazing results by the time I leave this beautiful building. And I will consider this, I believe, with the wars, I've stopped 7 different wars. I've saved millions of lives. I've done a lot of things. This will be as important as any single thing I've done, because I know ladies, beautiful ladies just like this, that are going through the same thing. And it's not easy. And I admire you for being able to do it. But I admire him too. I wish I had a face that looked like that. If I looked like him, I would have been president a long time ago.
Is widely used in other countries too. As you make this announcement, do you expect your decision may affect?
I hope they follow it. Yeah, I hope they follow it. Yeah, other countries are, sell Tylenol. Some countries don't. I mean, I hear Cuba now. Again, you'll have to check this out. But I hear Cuba doesn't have it because it's very expensive, and they don't have the money to have it, or they don't want to spend the money to have it. They don't have Tylenol, and I hear they have essentially no autism. So. You'll have to check it out. Yeah, Brian.
Medical professionals have warned for decades.
No, not you. You're CNN. You're fake news. Go ahead, Brian.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to go back to the Amish community, if I can, just for a second. I recently saw a man from Minnesota, an Amish man from Minnesota, on a podcast, and the host asked him what the rates were for like ADHD and autism, and he had no idea about ADHD, didn't know that existed, and certainly didn't know of any cases. What are they doing?
It doesn't exist with the Amish community, and they don't take all of this junk. It doesn't exist. That tells you, doesn't that tell you? That's like, that's like certain countries where it doesn't exist and they don't take it. Would you like to make a comment about that one?
How about we all stop taking frickin' vaccines for anything and treat what happens when we get it? Or take the vaccine when, we need it, if we ever need it. I'm pretty sure there was no vaccines back in the day. I don't know. What do I know? I'm not a doctor. Don't listen to me.
The Amish population, a very mixed group. So there's a subset that take vaccines, a subset that does not. And we know they have very low rates of chronic disease all across the board.
Please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Should the establishment media show at least some openness to, trying to figure out what the causes of autism
I wish they
are?
would, yeah.
And why are they so close-minded?
Well, look, it's not only the media, in all fairness, it's some people. when you talk about vaccines, they go crazy. And, I'm a big supporter of vaccines. I got a certain vaccine approved in 9 months that would have taken from 5 to 12 years. I'm very proud of it. A lot of people think it was one of the greatest things I've done. And some people think, mostly Republicans, actually. I'll tell you, the Democrats think it was, they think Operation Warp Speed was one of the greatest things any president has done, any president. It's, we're very proud of what happened. We got hit with something that came from a place that shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. Those things take place and you're very unpleasantly surprised. But no, I'm a big believer in vaccines, the polio vaccine, big believer in vaccines. I know Bobby and you guys have it out a little bit, but he's a believer in vaccines too. But I've seen how great vaccines can be, how incredible they can be. So I'm a believer. Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah, please.
You're commenting about MMR and hepatitis B, and you
Right.
said those were your suggestions. But have you spoken with Secretary Kennedy about actually making those changes?
I have, yeah, I have. I've spoken to all the doctors about it, and doctors that are not here right now. I've spoken to many doctors about everything we're talking about. And the Tylenol has started to be spoken of over the last period of time, but we've been doing the research. A lot of what they've been speaking about comes from right here, by research done by these people. And I just say it again: don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. And don't give it to your child after your child is born. And do all those other things, little things, to spread out your visits, et cetera, on the vaccine. And I want to thank everybody. This is a very important day. Thank you very much.
You are watching RSBN live coverage from the White House. It is 5:51 Eastern time. Let's get right to one of our great sponsors.
Shut up. Paul, I doubt a conspiracy. That's funny right there, because how many other difference between a conspiracy and reality is like between 6 and 18 months. With Kirk, you don't doubt it. You doubt a conspiracy with Kirk. He wasn't a politician. Now, he was even more powerful than a politician. He got a politician elected. He was changing too many people's minds. And he was a person who, if assassinated, could cause potentially a civil war. Maybe they were hoping for that. I don't know, but it's definitely a conspiracy, because the FBI is saying that the bullet was still in his head, and there's no effing way that's possible, because I saw the shot come from behind him and go through the top, the side of his head, through his neck. I mean, unless it's AI, right? But I doubt it. But, anything's possible. But in my personal opinion, it's more likely a conspiracy than a personal beef. But they're so good at this, Paul, that they could actually get Tyler on the roof with a rifle, think that he's going to be the guy that takes him out, and he shoots, misses, and the other guy takes the shot at the same time. I don't know. Maybe they were waiting for a signal. But the first guy was suppressed. I mean, the guy that shot from behind him, I believe, was a suppressed weapon that didn't make that loud sound. And Tyler's rifle made the sound for the acoustics. So if it's completely pre-planned, you have one person creating the acoustics and the other person taking the shot. Anything is possible, Paul. I could be wrong. There was another guy in the crowd running with a handgun. There could have been multiple shooters. I don't know. You got it back at the beginning. That was the best part. Multiple phone cams should show that. But when you look at that shot from, when you look at the, I got to go over to Candace Owens and see what she thought about the footage that she has from the cameras behind Charlie's head. Which maybe I'll do right now. Spinal cord is like an instant seizing of all your muscles. Bam! And then you're dead. Instantly, nothing. Fall to the ground, you lose all motor controls. And obviously they hit this vein here on the way out. Bam! And the blood just went psh. But it looks like it went in there and then it came out back here somewhere. But that would have been a through and through shot. There's no effing way that bullet is still in the guy's head. Now, if it came from up here and it exited here, there's no way for the bullet to be in the guy's head, yet they come out today and say the bullet was still in his head. There's no way that's true. That's why I know it's a conspiracy, because they're lying to us. The FBI is lying to us. They used AI to create those text messages, in my opinion. This is a Yeti. It's a nice one too. It's from the Saltwater Angler at Key West, Florida. I love mine because it keeps drinks ice cold for hours. I love it too. Spinal cord. All right. We got 13 people. A heavy watch crowd. What do you think, Paul, after seeing that video? I got to look into this stuff more. I mean, I've got the Psyop manual right here. It's like 800 pages. I haven't even started reading it yet. The Psyops are kicking off left and right. So I'm going to start reading that today, and then I'm going to teach you guys everything that's in there. If it's not completely brain dead boring. I mean, I'll pick out the shit you really need to know, and I'll leave out all the garbage. So with that, I'm going to get the hell out of here. I've been going for 3 hours. So as soon as I hit 3 hours, I'm signing out. So we got 50 seconds left. Any closing words? I need a scheduled time every day. I could do that. I could do that. How about, what's a good time for you guys? Noon Pacific, 9 in the morning? Or noon Eastern? Wait, it's later there. No, it's earlier there. Because the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. No, it's earlier there. Because the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Noon Pacific is good. Thanks, Heather. Thanks for becoming a mod. You're a great woman. And I will see you guys later. Peace. Love you guys. Keep it real. Don't fall for the psyop.